If the downwind wing were low, he would add upwind stick to his downwind brake and rudder. Landing an FM in a crosswind is like standing up in a hammock on stilts. It's easy if you know how. The wind in this shot is coming from the left, so the pilot knows that he's going to have to arc downwind to the right. He therefore slips or crabs to correct for the force of the crosswind during his approach. This is to keep his track straight over the ground while still in the air. Watch the white line. This arc is dependent on the strength of the side forces against the tires and the speed of the plane. It is axiomatic that the greater the side forces and the slower the speed of the plane, the sharper the arc. The technique used to make a crosswind landing in a seaplane is identical to that used in a land plane. The smoke in the background indicates the direction of the 20-mile-per-hour wind. A crosswind can create the same side pressure against the float that we have already seen exerted against the tires. As the plane touches the water and the ground loop forces start to accumulate, the pilot applies right rudder and arcs the plane downwind. The arc can clearly be seen by watching the wake. Up until now, we've only discussed landings, but the same principles and plane reactions are at work during a takeoff. The wind, which is from the pilot's left, is striking against the large surface area aft of the center of gravity. The pilot is neutralizing this by using right rudder to push his tail against the wind, thus setting up a centrifugal force which, instead of pulling the plane out of control, keeps it under control. Recall also that the arc was sharper at the beginning when the plane was going slowly, and then tended to straighten out as the plane gathered speed. The next landing is going to indicate how two opposing side forces can be used to balance each other. The beach has a lateral slope, and the pilot would ordinarily use downhill brake and rudder to avoid ground looping. However, in this case, there's also a crosswind from the sea, which would require just the opposite tactics. Recognizing these conditions, the pilot, by permitting the two conflicting forces to counteract each other, makes an almost straight landing roll. It must always be remembered that to avoid ground looping